Welcome to the Write Your Own Story podcast. I'm your host, Betsy Leonidas, and the founder of the Write Your Own Story company. Girl, I can tell you right now, you are definitely enough. Here we value service, sisterhood, connection, laughter, and that super genuine, keep it real, tell you like it is honesty. My hope is at the end of each episode, you realize you can do whatever it is you dream about and that you are not alone with what you struggle with. I'm hoping that you are snapping and clapping and hell yes in your way through each one of these episodes. So if this tracks with you, let's get started. I'm so glad you're here. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the latest episode of the Write Your Own Story podcast. I'm your host, Betsy Leonidas, and I'm so excited to be here with Jaclyn Luongo. Jaclyn, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. It's a great opportunity to chat with you and your audience. I'm so excited.
Absolutely. Today, I want to talk to the women who want to look and feel their best, but we are so inundated with all of the trends, all the nips, tucks, shots, creams, all the things, and we're overwhelmed and don't know where to start. Today, we're going to talk about something that has so many women's head spinning: how to make smart, confident decisions in a world overflowing with beauty options. From at-home devices, oh my gosh, I have way too many of those, to medical-grade treatments now marketed directly to consumers. Access has grown, but clarity really hasn't. So today we're going to spend some time talking with Jaclyn, who has over 2 decades in the beauty and wellness industry, helping brands and practitioners and leaders navigate this evolving landscape with, this is my favorite part, with safety, education, and integrity. Today, she's helping us cut through the noise and approach self-care with intention instead of impulse. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you how many times I've been scrolling TikTok or Instagram, and it's like right before bed and a new influencer with the cream and the neck and all the things. And I'm like, I have to have it. I need that neck.
I know. We're all consumers. We all do it. We all have it in front of our faces all the time.
All the time. Oh, I'm so excited to hear both your perspective on like what's real, what's not, how to ground ourselves, but also from the practitioner side of where responsibility lies. So we're going to get into some really, really cool stuff.
Yes. What a great intro. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. So we are obviously living in a time that everything is, sort of trending on social media. Mm-hmm. And I think what we thought we used to have to go to the practitioner for now is like a click away. How do we even tell the difference between what is marketed as clinically effective versus what is just like trending? Like there's just so much noise. How do we start to cut through this?
There is so much noise. And I also truly believe and feel strongly about the influencers that are out there that we are hearing from that really don't have the credential that I worked really hard for 20 years to have. Yeah. And that expertise of understanding skin, understanding aging, and most of all, understanding ingredients. So I mentioned before we started recording, I have an 18-year-old daughter. Mm-hmm. That generation is skincare, like they are doing everything, even that younger generation that, I never had, even though I was an esthetician at a young age. So I always say, read the ingredients. Before you want to jump on something, look at the ingredients. That doesn't lie. And understand what those specific ingredients do. Because this celebrity or this influencer might be talking about it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's good for the conditions or concerns you have just because it's on trend and is best for your skin type or age. And understanding the foundation of it and the ingredients and the quality is really the first step. And I also think the second step is listening to those influencers that are actual credible estheticians, medical providers, aesthetic nurses, anybody that's in that brand, umbrella, I think is really important to hear what they have to say, see some before and afters of their patients. And this is just on the consumer level when we're talking about, the retail, you're scrolling on Instagram, you're scrolling on TikTok. Mm-hmm. And then also the brands that are backed more by the clinical studies that they actually can share, and they share openly on social media, because that's where PDO Max and Lumembi Skincare was born from. 10 years ago, we started as a thread company, and our trainers are all medical providers, nurse practitioners, RNs that are injectors. We have a lot of estheticians in the market as well. And so we brought something to market because that's what the demand was. And we started with the foundation of being that voice in aesthetics because we really have that authority already. And that the retail product that we brought to market is just proof of us extending it to the consumer as well.
Yeah, I love that. I think what really like hit the nail on the head for me, of course, is to like slow up your decision making, check your source, check the ingredients, do your research. But what really also struck out to me was like we have such control over our feeds, even though we feel like we don't. If you like want to find, if you are genuinely feeling like you need to explore this area, start following people that like truly are from an area of expertise who have worked for 10 to 20 years to earn their credentials, versus what whoever makes the most engaging content. And that might need to be muted for a little bit because if this is something you're serious about and want to dive in on the research, I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I doubt the answer is yes, but when you mention the ingredient piece, like you see some that are like full of all the syllables and all the consonants. There's just like a lot of consonants. But then also you have the flip side that is like grapeseed and things that like are just from the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a better way to lean like for effectiveness, or is it?
I honestly don't think there is a better way to lean. It's more also for you. So what your concern is as the client, the patient, the consumer, something that might bother us is just that's something internal that you want to improve on or you'd like to diminish the appearance of. So as we age and, perimenopause, it's fine lines or it might be a little bit of pigmentation. So ingredients that help with those specific concerns, that's where you want to hone in on. Just these, random ingredients that might be good for one may not be good for another. So first you have to identify where your concern is, where you'd like to improve, and then go from there. And that shifts, that changes as we age. And as those concerns start to be more age management or be more optimal skin health, where maybe we're wearing less makeup to appear younger and just glowing skin. Like it really does pivot at times.
Yeah, it most certainly does. Like, when did my neck become so much a part of the conversation?
It happens. It's true.
It sure does. 44 is awesome. Just kidding. It is awesome. It is genuinely
It is awesome.
It is. It's so good to be here. But yes, no, and I think that's so great to be able to just like, again, slow up, check in. What is really of your concern? What are your thoughts about like the tools and the things that are available? Like everyone's got a red light mask. Like, do we need to be doing that at home? Do we need to, is that like, that's the example that comes to mind, but feel free to take us anywhere. But
no, I think I love a red mask, a red light mask, LED masks. I think that making sure they're FDA cleared, Luongo has one. It's the Vluxia mask. Ooh. I tend to have more problematic skin. So from a personal level, I've had acne scarring. I have pigmentation from that. So blue light tends to help my skin more. Ooh. Where, within the realm of if you were a consumer, you might not know that.
I literally did not know that.
Because everybody just thinks red light. Yeah. But there are other lights in those masks, and educating yourself on what the purpose is for those red lights is great. Great to do just for yourself, because is it a nice complement to what you might be doing in clinic if you have an esthetician or a nurse provider? Absolutely. It is, I truly believe 50% of what you do at home is your success of that optimal skin health. It isn't just one thing. So only doing product, I don't think is enough, or tools at home. Yeah. I think seeing a provider for facials, getting yourself educated about your skin type, and addressing your concerns, figuring out what those are with a professional. But I love a great LED mask. I think LEDs are wonderful for helping with the age management component, helping with the healing aspect, specifically when I'm talking about acne or problematic skin. And there's a lot of other tools too. There are dermaplasion tools that we have one that also does microdermabrasion that has a tip to it. But
Ooh.
I've always believed since aesthetic school back in 1999
Mhm.
that we should be removing your vellus hair. So that peach fuzz is also getting in the way of your makeup looking as smooth and going on as nicely, your serums that you're spending money on, that is a way to remove your peach fuzz and
Mhm.
your dead skin at the same time so
Yes.
that everything looks better, looks glowy, looks more youthful and fresh.
I love
So
this.
those are my two favorite tools for sure. And anything
Yeah.
with LED lights are fantastic.
Everyone was just literally pen to paper, Amazon cart out, writing all the things down. They're like, wait, tell me more. But that also like, I like the approach of, yes, you should be seeing a clinical someone
Hmm.
if you have genuine concern, but also like reinforcing with good behavior at home.
Hmm.
Where do you think from like a practitioner side, the balance is of like, women feel so much pressure to be so youthful and to do the latest trend. And I study women all day long, and it's especially from a consumer perspective. This health, wellness, and appearance is like where we overspend and
Yeah.
like crazy. But from like a responsibility standpoint for the
Mhm.
clinician, when someone comes in and says they want all the things, like what's that conversation like to be like, this
Right.
is real, this is not, this is pressure, this is like,
Mhm.
how do you know if you've kind of like landed in the right space? Because that would be like an ideal conversation kind of thing.
So let it like actually listening to the patient, the client, and say you put a mirror in front of your face, like, what do you see? And
Hmm.
so if they're listening to you, that's a good provider because they want to address the things that you are concerned about. And letting the provider actually do their job because there's a lot of times a patient or any a client might go in and say, I want this, I
Yeah.
want filler in my lips, I want this amount, like tons of threads, a full thread lift, or this peel, where it again may not be the right thing for you. So I say leading into it, asking the questions based off of the condition, the concern, and figuring out a solution. And the solution isn't always a very high ticketed price. It could be great quality skin treatments because you want, before you do anything more advanced, you want your skin to be at its top health, its
Ooh, that's a
hydration.
great nugget.
Even plastic surgery, like you want your skin to be in better quality because you're going to get a better lift, you're going to get a better everything if your skin is in good health from the starting point. So there's layers to getting there, and it does start with good skincare. It does start with that pace, and I truly believe in the heartbeat of skincare, whether you're using acids or vitamin A's, or like in our instance, we have salmon DNA. So those are things that you're feeding, you're nourishing the skin that's specific for the concerns that you're trying to address. And most of the time it is aging,
Yeah, I know. It's like I just want a Benjamin Button
right?
because yes, I want to like look young and hot and all the things, but like I want the outside to match how I feel on the inside.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
still feel so youthful and full of life and like I don't and when you look tired, you're like, "Wait, but I don't feel tired." Okay, yes, I feel tired, but you know what I mean.
Absolutely. And it's about hydration. It's about, what your practitioner will recommend for you to do at home as well as in clinic. And again, I think more often you see a provider and you're doing the right things at home, you may see a difference just in that self. And then you can build from there.
Yeah.
Because I do think that they are more of a building block when you are trying to address or have an age management plan.
Yeah, my age management plan that hit.
We all have one.
Mhm. What do you guys have in your portfolio of products that you're just like super excited about? You've mentioned some really interesting things.
I love all the tools. I feel like that may not always be the first step. So
Hmm.
if you are, just getting into skincare or more advanced treatments at home, that may not be the first step, and
Okay.
that's okay.
Yeah.
We have a glow between kit that is a really great kit that you use in between your treatments that you see your provider, your esthetician. And there's sheet masks that have plant exosomes and hydration, PDRN, vitamin C. Those
Mm,
are simple to use. And that's something that anyone at any age with any concerns could use. So it's very universal.
love that.
There is a glass skin serum that's in that box, that kit as well. We'll link it in the notes. And
Perfect.
then there is a stamper that is tiny, tiny little infusion tip to this. It's called the Glow Pin that helps to deliver the quality ingredients a little bit deeper. It's very comfortable. And you do that a couple of times in between your services. It's like a facial at home that is safe and created by the professional market, created by medical providers. And that's where the idea came from to begin with. We needed this.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I have a confession. I've literally only ever had 2 facials in my whole entire life.
Did you love
I
it though?
I did. I absolutely loved it. I was like, I don't know what's happening, but I feel so relaxed and I felt so glowy afterwards. It was just like truly delightful and
Mhm.
delivered great results. I think that like I definitely should be doing more of them, but I am also like I am to your point, like I am in the baby.
Mhm.
I really enjoy skincare and I like makeup. But I am like horrible about washing my face at night. I don't know.
But then, you get into the routine, and that's also, from a sales standpoint, from
Yeah,
when I practiced aesthetics, y- you can't start with now 8 products.
right.
It will overwhelm you, and then you won't do anything. So
Totally.
that's what I like about the kit. And I say the sheet mask because everybody loves a good sheet mask. And when
Totally.
you want to feel good, or you have a little special occasion that you're leading up to, like that's a nice way to treat yourself at home.
Yeah.
And the serum on a daily basis. I think that adding those simple things, I think it gives you a little teaser of, oh, my skin really feels different when I'm using these products. And then it hopefully motivates you to learn more about exfoliating or doing
Mhm.
some of those tools. And it's a gateway to just your skincare routine, as my daughter calls it. And she probably has 10 steps more than I do, even
Oh
at
my
that
gosh.
generation. But
Absolutely.
they're wearing sunscreen every day, and they are going to have glowing, young, youthful skin for a long time.
I love it. I love
They're
it so
doing it
much.
right.
Does your daughter does she get ready with her friends on FaceTime and then does she get unready with her friends?
Yes,
Because my
yes.
12-year-old does. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. And it's amazing, which I think it's smart. I like that there's a younger generation that sees the quality of self care. That's a
Yes.
big win because my
Yeah.
generation, we're both 44,
Yep.
we didn't really learn that. Like we had very little product to use as we were navigating through hormonal issues. And
Yeah.
now we're on the back end and like we didn't have that. So I love that there is the products, the ingredients out there that really help to have a better trajectory, and the knowledge of not wearing SPF and the damages of not wearing SPF. I think that they're more knowledgeable about those free radicals and what it can damage the skin. So they're smart. They're doing their serums and they're doing their lights and all the things. So I'm happy to see that next generation taking really good care of their skin to
I,
start.
I love that perspective. I'm not going to lie. When Adeline first got into it, I was like, oh God, the internet has got her. YouTube
Right.
shorts have got her. But like I love that she does. It's like it's a way for her to connect with her friends. It absolutely is self-care.
Mm-hmm.
She really values her skin. Just as like she values all the other parts of her, like she takes care of all the other parts of her body. Like it isn't I think for those of us, to your point, who like kind of in our generation, we started all this a little bit later and feel like we're playing catch up and,
Yeah.
sunspots and Moses and all the things that we're doing,
Right.
where I think they're very much. So for all the parents out there who are like, oh my God, my daughter is obsessed with Sephora, like, yes, we're all going broke because of it.
Right.
But
Exactly.
I do love the fact that they're so in tune with their skin, what works, what's important, what self care is.
Yeah,
It's not,
absolutely. And
yeah.
I think that it does create less damage so that you're not fixing it later down the
Yeah.
road. And I these sheet masks are great for a younger
Mm.
generation. The dermaplasion is great for any age bracket. Like there's so many different things that you can start with and be simple, and that's very universal to uh, whatever condition or whatever concerns you might be trying to address or just improve. And it feels good to do it for yourself. That's the other
Mhm.
part
It
is,
does.
there could be a routine when you're using your LED mask and you're looking forward to that. That's a reward for you to just pause for a moment.
Yeah, gosh, right? Just pause, rest, do a little something, something for you. I have to tell you, I'm literally obsessed with my Aura Ring 4. Honestly, my Apple Watch was way too much noise for me. Stand up, sit down, you have a meeting, you're late, your steps are low, breathe, all the things. But this little ring has been an absolute game changer. It doesn't just track my sleep, it helps me actually rest better. Every morning, I get insights into my recovery, my readiness for the day, and whether my body needs more downtime. It even tracks my steps, my cycle, and literally so much more. If you're someone who loves data, cares about your health, and also loves cute jewelry, this ring is for you. This is a gentle reminder, backed by science, that rest is just as important as hustle. Unlock this powerful tool for better sleep, less stress, and smarter recovery with Aura Ring 4. Use my link in the show notes to get 10% off your Aura Ring today. Okay, I think, we've talked about what does a healthy practitioner relationship look like. I love that, to be like, okay, here's what you really need to tell me about your goals. Let's listen, let's calibrate. Where do you really need to spend your money? I love it when they tell me where I don't need to spend my money too. That builds trust for me big time.
Absolutely, absolutely, for sure.
Yeah.
So you're
Uh,
not ready for that, or we
yep.
don't need that. Let's prioritize this. That's a
Yes.
true provider because they want to keep you long term, and that's
Yeah.
the way to do it because they're being honest with you from
Yeah.
their expertise.
Right. And then also, if a clinician said to me exactly what you said, to be like, listen, if you're not like a skincare girly, I'm not going to give you 8 products at home. Like, you're never going to do them. Let's start. And when you get excited because you love your self care routine, you can come back and we can build on it. I think those are green flags, as we say in the dating world.
Absolutely, absolutely. Good green flags right there.
I love it so much. But I would love to talk about, and we've talked about like, how does a clinician balance? What I'm so curious about too is, this is more of like a business question. What is driving the progression of skincare trends and technology? Is it consumer demand to be like, I want this? Or is it advancement in technology that is then kind of brought to the consumer lens? Like, what is driving one or the other? Because I feel like us women are so loud in this category.
Absolutely. And I think that the generation that we are, that perimenopausal, menopausal, we are the loudest because we are now dealing with these concerns that nobody taught us about.
Yes.
Nobody taught us about pigmentation or wearing sunscreen every day many years ago. Some were in tanning beds, some
Oh,
were,
yeah.
using products to enhance the tan. So I think that's the loudest group of consumer out there. But I also think that what's happening with aesthetic medicine is it's kind of shifting back to more regenerative and that more the building blocks, so that progressive instead of that quick fix, because
Yeah.
there really isn't one anyways, or the treatments out there that are very long downtime. No one
Mhm.
has time for that. Those long-term peels or the laser treatments, the energy devices that are quite intense. You have to plan your weeks around if you are
Yes.
going to do a procedure like that. That's what we love about non-surgical thread lifts, because there isn't as much downtime, or even just doing, like I said, those quality skin treatments. So regenerative, being able to build on your own skin health, doing those daily tasks that are helping with the health of your skin. And it becomes sort of habit, from sunscreen to using a serum every day, using your sheet mask on a weekly basis. So it's not always, even from a provider standpoint, it is, I don't think it's always now the what's the next shiny thing, what's the next new treatment, the new trend, because that's a trend isn't also sustainable.
Totally. From a business perspective, I'm sure. Yeah. Oh, that's great
Exactly.
perspective. Yeah. Absolutely.
Exactly. So from a business perspective, getting the new energy device that's hundreds of thousands of dollars and then it's not a cool treatment anymore 6 months down the road isn't sustainable really. And
Yeah.
so that's really where skincare will never go out of business. It's always
Right.
going to be a fast growing industry and there's going to be a demand for it, especially as the generations continue to do self-care, but it's more progressive than that burn it off, peel it off, long downtime periods. Like this is something that you do and you're treating yourself, more slower, but getting there at the same. So slow and steady kind of wins that glow or that youthful look and looking like yourself still.
Yeah. When do we need those big burn, long downtime, super peel, scary looking, but also I'm sure very effective. But when do we need those?
Really when your collagen starts to black,
Yeah.
when you start to see that those fine lines, and that's different for everyone depending on your makeup, depending on your skin health, and if you did sit in the sun. So that's different for everyone, but that's ultimately the cause of aging is just losing your volume, losing your collagen.
Right.
And how do you do that? How do you create that regeneration of it? And threads is definitely a great way to be more regenerative, but we also with the right skincare. So it can't be just one path. You
Yeah.
need
A
to
one size
really
fits all.
check
Sure.
all of those, like just have that routine and prepare the skin for it and be resilient and have your skin be more resilient as you do more treatments.
I love
So
that.
I wouldn't put an age on it. It's really when you start to see it yourself and your concerns. And I started off young, maybe because I was in the industry, but I also really did it progressively.
Yeah. Right. I think that is a key one is to like progress, try the
Hmm.
thing, see if you really need to get there kind of thing.
Exactly.
Can you tell us more about threads? Like I know about eyebrow threading, but again, you're talking to just an itty bitty baby when it comes to skincare here. I mean, I'm in. I never ever regret washing my face and putting on my under eye and my vitamin C and my moisturizer. I'm like, I'm a queen.
Always
I
feel
did it.
it's like exercise. You never
It is.
want to
You
do
never
it, but then
regret
when you do it, it's like, oh, I feel so much better.
it. I do.
Um,
I feel set
skincare
up
is
for
fun.
success the next day. I feel ready to roll. I'm like, but I just turn into such a pumpkin at night. But I'm a work in progress. I'm not a lost cause yet.
That's great news. What I love about threads, and I've been exposed to PDO Max many years ago with a dear friend of mine that was a provider, and it was just coming on the market. It was about 8 or 9 years ago, and I was able to just observe the treatment that was happening and was fascinated by it. And then she started sending me the results of that patient
Mm,
3 months later, 6 months later. And I was wowed. Like, this is amazing. And ultimately, what threads are doing, they're biostimulators
okay.
and they are where your thread is placed. Ultimately, it's a PDO suture. It's literally a suture and it's a
Okay.
thread that absorbs into the body just the way a suture would.
Wow.
And what happens is the as it absorbs, collagen produces where it was placed. So there are different levels or different planes that you use more smooth, which are a little bit more of a topical thread that you would use for more of that volume, like I do them around here. And
Yeah.
then there's lifting threads that are a bit deeper and that do help to lift. And that's something you graduate into potentially, or It might be a treatment you do in between or right before, 10 years before you might get a facelift.
Yeah.
So it's sort of that in between. And it's amazing that we have that. And it's your own body producing the collagen instead
Yeah.
of filling it with something or overproducing yourself. Like you're naturally producing that on your own. And I love that. I love that we also have it in a topical form that can be microneedled into the skin with the Afterglow, which is our PDO powder serum and hyaluronic acid. And you get to really address everything. So that topical glow, you're getting that boost of collagen, helping with that elastin. And that is ultimately what the concern for aging is. You
Yeah.
start to lack that collagen. Fine lines and wrinkles are caused from lack of moisture.
Yeah.
And just we start to lose it and produce our skin cells less often and collagen less often as you age.
Yes, indeed we do. And this is so interesting because when you think about filler, um, you worry about where it will distribute to and will it be
Mhm.
even and all of the things. But if you do threads and it's your own production of collagen, like theoretically your body is going to produce it at a natural rate that like your sides will match. Like,
Mhm.
is that
Mhm.
kind of
No, it is. And you're really mapping out where you're placing the thread and like the provider talks with the patient about it and you make a plan. And then
Mhm.
sometimes 6 months later, you go back, you revisit, you might need to boost a little bit, or you might need a series of some of these topical skin treatments like Lumembi, which is PDRN, salmon DNA, or a topical Afterglow, which has that hyaluronic acid and the PDO powder, which is ultimately like 1,000 smooth threads in a vial that is
whoa.
microneedled into the skin. And maybe microneedling is something that you start with before you get into all of that. If any of that sounds scary, microneedling is a game changer for
Really?
anyone that is concerned about texture, glowing, dead skin, or just looking to have a more youthful appearance. And
Mm.
microneedling helps to channel in those high active ingredients like the PDRN that I was talking about
Yes.
and vitamin C, the ingredients that you need to look out for as you start to educate yourself on age management, glutathione, niacinamide, vitamin C is very brightening,
Yes.
and that PDRN. Those are ingredients that are going to help to boost your collagen and help with brightening and helping the skin glow.
Incredible. So does microneedling actually help collagen regenerate or it's just the infusion of product?
Typically, I think that the power is really in the infusion of the product,
Yeah.
unless you are trying to resurface with acne scarring. And then it
Mm.
does help with resurfacing in that sense because you're first causing injury to the skin and then your skin is healing. So it is producing new collagen and new skin cells because you have that goal in mind. From a standpoint of us as a company, we don't go that deep with microneedling where it's quite comfortable with a zero point 0.5 depth or just more topical. And the
Yeah.
point is let the ingredients do the work.
Oh, I love that. I love that. How often for threads do you have to get them like redone? I think Botox is like that lasts what, 4 months tops? Like,
Threads last much longer. Threads can be a year and a half to 2 years. Sometimes you're doing a boost at that point, or
Mhm.
maybe some smooth threads, the ones that really help with just that biostimulation. You're going to hear that word more often as
Mm.
we progress into the louder perimenopausal, menopausal women out there that need solutions. That is a great solution. Anything that's biostimulating is going to help us, gain back that confidence in ourselves and a little bit of the volume that we've lost over the years.
Yeah. Volume, gravity. So sad. RIP. Okay, but this is very helpful. And again, like sometimes I like go into freeze mode because people talk about all the things that they do and like maybe I'm a slower dabbler, but this is really helpful to be able to like put them into buckets and to talk
Yeah.
about like, what a trusting relationship with a clinician looks like.
Yeah. And
Um,
it's the stepping stones. And again, I think it becomes overwhelming because then you don't do anything. And
Yeah.
I don't want that for anyone, because I
Right.
do think that there's so much out there that is great and is very helpful in helping to slow down the appearance of the aging process.
Hmm.
So going slow and steady and reading and not following the trends as we started with is important. I think that, finding those voices that you trust.
Yeah, absolutely. What is one misconception about how women approach beauty and aging that you wish more consumers understood?
I would say the brands that are out there from like a retail level that are the luxury brands, I think that you need to again read the ingredients, like
Mm,
understanding what's in those products. They might have beautiful branding, beautiful packaging, and spokespeople, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to have ingredients that are even going to help the needle to move
mm,
in your goals for your skin. So I think that's a bit of a misconception. If it is this luxury brand, then it must be really great. I would always, and I always will, spend my money on clinically driven ingredients. And also, Korea definitely sets the trends with beauty. And there's ingredients from Korea that are amazing that come to market, and then we finally get our hands on it. And those ingredients are the ones that I've seen do the most over 25 years in the industry. Is when Korean skincare has an ingredient, a method, that's where sheet masks were created. Like it stays, it sticks, it sticks.
wow. Okay, because that's what my TikTok feed is like. Okay, Korean skincare has been gatekeeping this or whatever it may be. Like, okay, I was like, are we just saying this because you want me to buy it, or are we for real? For real?
No, I think a lot of really great raw sourced ingredients, really start with the Korean market and Korean beauty. You have to be wary of where you're getting everything and
Yes.
trust your manufacturer as well. But I do believe they see it and they perfect it. It's definitely some ingredients that have come out of that have been in concepts have changed the beauty world for
I,
sure.
I love that. If you could challenge one beauty standard, what would you challenge?
I
What do
would
you
say love yourself more. You
Hmm.
don't necessarily have to look 20 years old. That's not that I don't want that to be the goal of anyone
Mhm.
really at any age. It's when you feel good, you look good. So whatever makes you feel good. If the lips make you feel good, if the brows a certain way make you feel good, go for it. But
Yeah.
I think that saying this is beauty, it's so relevant. Like it's so should be just what you feel is beauty on
Yeah,
the inside,
truly.
not what's outside. So do what you feel makes you beautiful or look your best.
I love that. It really gets to
Yeah.
be a one of one. I say all the time in my life to my kids, to my best friends, to the female entrepreneurs that I help coach. It's like we all
Yeah.
need to keep our eye on our own paper.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Do what's best for you that makes you feel a certain way and feel
Mm.
better.
If you could say anything to clinicians, if everyone were listening and you wish that you could say one thing, or, what would you want to talk to them about?
I would say a lot of it has to do with trends,
Mm.
not always moving on to the next device before you become expert at this one thing. I
Mm.
think that there's just so much in the industry that we can get our fingertips on, and like we get it we learn something new. It's always evolving. It's amazing how much the beauty industry and aesthetic industry changes, but sticking to a passion, and you can't be great at everything. So
Yes.
I think that for me, I would always prefer to go to someone that's niche at XYZ threads
Yeah.
or filler or facial skincare.
Yeah.
So that's how I would lead my decision making in finding the right provider. If they're great at laser, stick with that.
Oh, I love that. I love that. It's like, I mean, truly, like we don't, if you go, heaven forbid you have a sports injury and you're going to the knee doctor, you don't want to go see the hip doctor for your knee. Like,
Exactly.
yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. It
That
makes
hits.
sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of paths to take. There's a lot of buckets to be in this industry.
Yeah.
the energy device, there's, injectables, there's peels, there's skincare, there's aesthetics in itself.
Yeah.
It's a huge range. And there's a lot of different opportunities to be niche in any of those.
Hmm. If you're building your dream business and you know you need to build an email list, but the idea of picking and using an email platform totally overwhelms you, trust me, I get it. But I've got you, girl. Flowdesk is where it's at. Flowdesk is the email marketing platform designed with female entrepreneurs in mind. Think gorgeous, on-brand templates plus powerful workflows that save you hours. I promise you, I've never used an easier email platform with such stunning results. Whether you're sending an email launching a new offer or podcast episode, sharing new news, or trying out a fancy workflow to convert a new email subscriber into a paying customer, Flowdesk helps you show up professionally with ease without spending a ton of time or money. And not to mention, these emails are gorgeous. And because you're a Write Your Own Story podcast listener, you get an exclusive 50% off your first year of Flowdesk. Plus, they'll send you $19 cash back when you join using the link in the show notes. So if you're ready to send stunning emails that convert and actually enjoy the process, click the link in the show notes and give Flowdesk a try. That's 50% off your first year plus $19 back in your pocket. Check out Flowdesk today. It's like your super talented email writing best friend. I promise you won't regret it. Now, back to the episode. And if you could say anything to the younger generation, what would you say?
The ingredient piece. Understand your ingredients. Understand what petroleum is.
Yeah.
Understand what it does. Understand your SPFs and understand why, a 16-year-old would not need retinol.
Yeah.
So I think that that's important to understand ingredients to skin concerns and conditions and why and what it treats. I think that's important. And I think I've taught my daughter that, to understand, certain ingredients are not necessary. If you don't have acne, you don't need benzoyl peroxide. If you don't, it's important to understand your own skin and understand the ingredients that help to maintain it.
I love that. Actually, you've got my wheels turning in a major way. I'm like, I think every mom is like, you know what? I'm just going to just go check out her vanity real quick. Mm-hmm. So, okay, we've talked about retinol. If that probably is not necessary if they're too young for acne or just don't have acne, they don't need the benzoyl. What was the I know it.
Benzoyl peroxide is more for acne skin, and the retin-A or the vitamin A is too young. It could cause more damage because it might sensitize your skin. It might irritate you more, and your skin isn't as thick and as you when you're younger. So it's definitely depends on where you're at with your skin concerns, that changes. So it's not like you'll never use vitamin A. I think there's always room for that down the road.
How's vitamin C for our girls?
I like vitamin C. There's a lot of vitamin C that is also buffered, so it's not too spicy on the skin. Not a fan of using fragrance in product or, all those extra dyes and things that make a product look pretty. I think there's a lot of them out there on the market. I like slow and steady, and I like simple. And just learning, there's apps out there. There's a lot out there to understand. I love niacinamide. I think it's a great skincare ingredient for that regeneration and helping to hydrate. It's a nutrient for the skin, just like vitamin C is, and glutathione that really helps to feed the skin. That's the other piece. I think younger generations always want to kind of strip your acid mantle, and you almost become more sensitive, or their skin gets sort of red. It becomes more irritated. And then your oil sometimes starts to produce more than it needs to if you're constantly stripping your oil.
Oh, that's so helpful. Yes, absolutely. And like you said, have these girls educate themselves, but from a parent perspective, like I just want to go pop in her room real quick and be like, I'm just going to scan the back real quick, make sure we don't have any major concerns. So I like that. It's like looking for fragrance and dyes, not our favorites, right? Like, and then some of the like more harsh sort of layer peeling kind of things. Let's try and stay
necessary. Exactly. Yeah. It's good to know what is in what you're using, just
Yeah.
like it's good to know what we're eating. It's the
Yes.
same thing. You want to look at the labels.
Right. I know. And like this, I so appreciate your message around slow and steady and
Mhm.
simple, where I
Mhm.
think if you look at this category as a whole, it feels anything but slow and steady and simple, but that you really do have the ability to do that.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Well, that's why we made a kit, because a kit
yeah.
also is here. These are your 3 steps. This is
Hmm.
what you need to help really make a difference in your skin, because you don't need all of this extra all the time. You really don't. It's almost not necessary. So I think when it's kind of created for you with those simple steps, I think that gives you that kind of regenerative approach versus quick, quick, quick isn't always the right way to get there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then sometimes the maintenance that comes with quick, 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 like you've just leveled
Hmm.
up in a way that you're like, oh God, good luck. Is
Absolutely.
that kit sort of prime or just particularly good for perimenopause girlies out there?
I think it's really great for anybody for brightening and for hydration. So, absolutely, it's great for us. I love the sheet mask when I'm
Mhm.
feeling like my skin is tired or
Mhm.
just needs a little bit of a boost. I love the sheet masks for that. And then the daily use of the serum. So it's great for that. But I also think it's really wonderful that the glass skin serum is great for any age, really, because
Mm,
it just has those great hydrating ingredients to it.
yeah. And again, like I think I love also the script flipped of like it's not fixing, so it's tending to and taking care of something,
Mhm.
like you do your gut and your body and your muscles and all the things. Like your face too deserves to be loved
Yeah,
and not
absolutely. We
punished
forget
for
it.
being.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. We kind of forget, like, that sometimes is a secondary thought, but
Yeah.
our skin is our largest organ. We need to
Right.
take care of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, this has just been so insightful and it's so refreshing, and like genuinely motivating. If people
I'm
want to
so
learn,
glad.
oh, I'm so glad too. If people want to learn more from you, if they are curious about threads, if they want to, where can we find more information from you?
Absolutely. So we have websites, pdomax.com. And when it comes to the consumer piece, we have LumeMV skincare and also Instagram. We have lots of providers that are nationally throughout the country that do amazing thread treatments. And my Instagram handle is Beauty Tomorrow. I'm
Mm.
Jaclyn. I am happy to chat with anybody and make recommendations. Specifically with Lumembi skincare, there's a lot that consumers can purchase through the website, and there's some great before and afters. So just know and trust that it comes from the professional market,
Yes.
and we brought that with a lot of testing and a lot of understanding the demand before we did bring it to the consumer.
I love that. I love that. Slow, steady, choiceful,
Mhm.
strategic, all of my favorite words.
Yes, yes, yes,
Jaclyn,
absolutely.
thank you so much. Your perspective was just an absolute breath of fresh air, and I love chatting with you.
Thank you, Betsy. It's a pleasure. And I'm going to send you a Glow Between kit. I can't wait to hear your
Really?
feedback. Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. Thank you.
Absolutely. I know
Oh,
you're going to love it.
you guys share this episode. Truly, I think all of us, when I think about the range of ladies listening to this show, we're all
Mhm.
skincare heavy. We're all thinking about, we're all watching gravity do its thing, and everyone out there is so beautiful, outside in, inside out. And this is just such a refreshing perspective on how to view sort of all the decisions and how to feel when you're making those decisions, or when you're talking with experts who are going to help you make those decisions. I think this has been really informative and also highly motivating. So Jaclyn, thank you again, and thank you
Thank
everyone
you.
for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Well, that's the end of this episode, but promise me, you won't stop here with whatever it is you're feeling or dreaming about. I hope you leave today feeling empowered to live life just as you see fit. If this podcast was helpful to you, it would mean the world to me if you could leave a review on whatever platform you're listening on. I genuinely just want to help women live the life they dream about. So if this type of content tracks with you, subscribe to this podcast or visit our website, writeyourownstory.co, to download digital courses or to grab a journal and a mug to just dream in and dream with. It's your life, lady. Do you. And just remember, I'm rooting for you and you've totally got this.